Speaking of important political issues, Taylor Swift.
The most
Krystal.
important political issues.
We have to talk about Taylor Swift.
Indeed, we do. Yeah. So there's a lot going on. I really need you to explain this to me, Emily, because I can't say that I really understand. But okay, I'm sure you guys are aware Taylor Swift is dating this football player, and it's become this whole thing. And there was whole freak out over their relationship and the fact she'd be on camera at his games. And this has sparked some next level conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
And it's not really confined to like one or two right-wing influencers.
No.
This is like really taken root and has sparked an entire genre of Taylor Swift, deep state, Joe Biden conspiracy theories. In some ways, it was kicked off by Vivek Ramaswamy. Let's put this up on the screen. So he says, I wonder who's going to win the Super Bowl next month because the Kansas City Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl, and that's the team that Taylor Swift's boyfriend, Travis Kelce, plays for. And I wonder if there's a major presidential endorsement coming from an artificially culturally propped up couple this fall. Just some wild speculation over here. Let's see how it ages over the next 8 months. Okay, so the theory here is that the Super Bowl will be rigged to benefit Taylor Swift, who already has been an A-list pop star for like a decade at this point, at least. At least a decade at this point. Okay, so, and somehow that's going to enable a Joe Biden endorsement, which is going to be a real game changer because, yeah, celebrity endorsements really seem to make a huge difference in politics. That's the theory that's being floated here by Vivek. But he was far from alone. As I mentioned, there's been a whole raft of additional commentary and theories about what's really going on here. We've got a smattering of this commentary for you to sample. Let's take a listen.
America's pop star celebrity sweetheart joins forces with the top dog in the NFL, playing for the team that's going to the Super Bowl. I mean, let's be real here. This is bread and circuses on steroids. Major League Sports, in and of itself, is nothing but a psyop. Get kids plugged into the cycle of going to public indoctrination camps, playing sports for their school, and going to games. Many end up devoting their entire childhood to competing in various sports, only to be cut from the team, at which point they become brainwashed into supporting professional teams because they know their dreams of becoming a pro athlete will probably never happen. So then they become obsessed with some grown man who gets paid millions of dollars every year to throw a ball around while promoting poison death shots and child slave labor through various brand deals and endorsements. So sad. Imagine being so brainwashed by sports, you actually show up to your team stadium to shovel snow for free so you can watch a bunch of grown men who are overpaid tackle each other.
Sure seems like something that is like concocted in order to accelerate the fame of these two people, get them to the Super Bowl, the largest screens on earth, get maybe like a proposal after the game. This is what I think is going to happen. There's going to be like some type of proposal.
Or maybe she just bought into all the lies about conservatives and Republicans, that they're racist and sexist and homophobic and xenophobic and transphobic and Islamophobic, that Republicans and conservatives want dirty air and water and a total ban on all abortion with no exceptions. If she believes all that, she is believing a lie because those talking points are simply untrue. Now, I'm just saying, maybe she wants to think twice before making a decision about 2024.
That was just, the tip of the iceberg.
There was a lot more of that. Yeah.
That dude, Benny Johnson, who we had a little clip of, he also put out this tweet that I have to read for you because it really does check every box. He says, by now everyone knows Taylor Swift is a government psyop, and this is exactly why corporate media is having a meltdown about it. By the way, you all seem to be the ones having the meltdown, just to say. 4 years ago, the Pentagon Psychological Operations Unit pitched NATO about turning Taylor Swift into a social influence asset. In 2019, George Soros bought her entire music catalog. In 2020, she came out as a raging liberal Joe Biden supporter after previously being politically neutral. In 2023, her Eras tour raked in higher revenue than the GDP of 50 countries. In 2023, she helped register over 35,000 new voters with a single Instagram post. And now she's dating a Pfizer and Bud Light agent in the NFL.
Agent.
Yeah, agent. Apparently he does like ads for them or whatever, and that was part of the freak out. The most watched live sport in America. Even the NYT wrote a story on how Biden is courting her for an endorsement and how he wants to appear on stage with her. Emily, you don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to put it all together. You just have to be paying attention.
That's my favorite part. You just have to be paying attention. And yeah, I mean, I know Benny is actually has a lot of support, and he's like very popular on the right. So I can't excuse this one in a lot of ways. Like this, it is legitimately true that sometimes the media will take, it's called nut picking. We'll take quotes from a crazy leftist or a crazy like hardcore conservative and paint the entire movement that way and say conservatives en masse are freaking out about Taylor Swift. This was actually so widespread among people on the right that we have a big story up at the Federalist today with the headline that is simply "Stop trying to make Taylor Swift is a psyop" happen, telling people like there's actually something very conservative about Taylor Swift, who has rocketed to astronomical degrees of fame, falling in love with this like middle American football player who, if people know about the Kelceys, are still like pretty humble. His brother Jason is just like a total bro. And I have a friend that Sagar knows who I was talking to him the other day about this. And he was like, I don't know why conservatives are so upset. The bros are back. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, the bros are back. The bros have never been back so hard. It is time for the bros to like reclaim their territory because Travis Kelce is like the ultimate bro, and he just got the ultimate girl. And there's something, in a way, as conservatives have now rebutted the other conservatives, saying, let them be, happy, and if they want to get married, because there's been leaks about an engagement, like all power to them.
Good for them. You're supposed to support marriage, right?
Yes.
That's supposed to be like a conservative family value situation. I actually think that part of why there's a freak out is because a lot of conservatives feel like she should have been one of them. She's like, football, they feel like culturally this is one of the few cultural areas where we have some sort of traction, very popular in middle America, et cetera. And she originally had, first of all, she became a star at such a young age. And she did just stay completely, she didn't say anything political. She came on the scene as more of like a country star and out of Nashville and whatever. And then she politically came out in 2018 when she opposed Marsha Blackburn for Senate in Tennessee. And her politics are very like plain vanilla resistance a lib.
Exactly.
Like some 90% of Hollywood. There's nothing, she's not been she really has been fairly non-political. She very occasionally will weigh in. She did endorse Biden last time around. But the panic and the freak out over this is also preposterous to me because there's I feel like the Biden people are deluding themselves about this too, that a Taylor Swift endorsement is gonna mean absolutely anything. Like if we learned nothing from Hillary Clinton, she had every celebrity endorse her. They were doing concerts with Jay-Z and Beyonce and whatever. Did that matter? Is Hillary Clinton, was she president of the United States? No. So the idea that Taylor Swift's endorsement is going to be the game changer for the election is also to me so incredibly silly. So there's so many levels of this genuine freak out that I can't understand. And then I do have to go back to that Allison's Angle clip that we played where she was
I don't know who that is.
Not only is Taylor Swift a psyop, professional sports are a psyop, youth sports that you put your kids in, the Parks and Rec League or whatever that your kids are playing, and that's a psyop too. I can't imagine messaging that is more poisonous to just like regular Americans going about their lives. If they heard that, would be like, what the hell is wrong with you? What are you on? And I want no part of whatever your political project is here.
Weren't you like a youth sports champion, Krystal?
I was a swimmer. Yes.
So
back in my day,
I am spoken
psyop,
like
actually.
somebody who was brainwashed by the youth sports
That's
psyop.
right.
No, well, the other thing, there's just, we could go on forever about this. I think you're right about people thinking that Taylor Swift was one of them. Taylor Swift, a lot of people forgot. She had a song where she originally, the lyric was, "That's fine, I'll tell mine that you're gay," about like friend. Do you remember this? Yeah, I think it was Picture to Burn. It was like her first or second record. And she said, I think at one point that she was Republican. So she had given signaling in the other direction and then got really famous and, did the welcome to New York, moved to New York thing, kind of the small town girl archetype moving to New York City.
To the big city.
And seemed to like be liberal so people could project all of that onto Taylor Swift, that as she got wealthy, she became more liberal. And maybe there's something to that because the arc potentially like of her signaling where she was politically might follow that. But that's not just Taylor Swift. That's very common. And, I don't find her politics to be that compelling. I think she's been like very snobbish about her politics, honestly, and I've written about that before. But all that is to say, the real there was data behind the fact that when Taylor Swift posted a link to a voter registration drive, I think it was like in Tennessee, voter registrations among young people like actually were huge. She actually like legitimately drove voter registrations, and people are really scared of that politically.
God forbid young people vote.
Maybe you're right that Joe Biden is even like too, the Biden campaign and Democrats are even too willing to buy into that Taylor Swift can like swing the election for them. But if you're a conservative, it's true like a lot of the country is sick of the cameras panning to Taylor Swift when Travis Kelce plays. It is, I find it incredibly annoying. I understand especially why a lot of people who aren't Taylor Swift fans or don't care about pop music find it really annoying. But this woman sold out tours, like revitalized local economies.
Didn't she like cause earthquakes with her tour? I mean, it was like
insane.
Gigantic. And here's the thing.
Enormously popular. So the way to address the idea of Taylor Swift driving voter registration is not to attack Taylor Swift. I mean, that's insane. Like, she's beloved. So going after Taylor Swift as a psyop is not the way to like win your election. That's not going to help you.
Yeah, it's not going to help you. I mean, I'm just skeptical that even the biggest celebrity endorser really makes any difference in the grand scheme of things. Democrats typically get, the overwhelming majority of the celebrity endorsements. I did love Jeff Sobek when he was talking about his theories on this and Taylor being a psyop and whatever. He's like, but we got, Kid Rock and John Voight.
And Ted Nugent, don't forget.
And Ted Nugent. Yeah. So, we're good. We don't even need her. We don't even need her. Yes. That's the other layer that has been really interesting, Emily, is the number of conservatives also who are out there like, I don't even think she's like good looking at all. Like, she's not even my type.
She's mid, yeah.
Come on. This whole trend of pretending like incredibly beautiful women are actually not that attractive and mid is extremely annoying. And so there's also that level of a bunch of dudes who know they could never get Taylor Swift or anyone approaching her level, being like, oh, I wouldn't even want her anyway. She's not even attractive, whatever. Who even cares about this woman? But to your point about her success, like, if you have a problem with Taylor Swift being everywhere and being so successful and the NFL panning to her and, more tickets being sold to the Kansas City Chiefs or whatever because she's there, your problem is with capitalism. Like, they're just trying to get more eyeballs and make a buck. There's no conspiracy. That's just capitalism. That's just like marketing. And she has a very broad appeal across a wide demographic who are interested in her and her songs and are more likely, I guess, apparently to watch a football game when her face is up there, or when her boyfriend dynamics are on display. So that's the real psyop here, I guess, is capitalism.
My colleague Mark Hemingway, well, actually, a lot of people on the sort of new right would agree with that. They'd be like, hell yeah, the problem's capitalism. But my colleague Mark Hemingway, when he was writing about this in The Federalist this morning, was like, the right desperately needs to stop letting very online people control the sort of conservative message and discourse. And in a sense, it's great that people who are marginalized, disenfranchised, don't have a foothold in Washington, D.C., have a voice. And those aren't always going to be like perfectly packaged cable news voices. And that's totally fine. On the other hand, there's some like legitimate cranks that are able to just like spout off about absolutely insane stuff, and it builds on each other.
Yeah.
Because people are so scared of getting piled on Twitter that they don't just say like, dude, you gotta cut this out. This is not good. Like, I know the guy did commercials for Pfizer, but like this isn't part of a grand scheme to like tip the election for Joe Biden. So it's just snowballs in a really unfortunate way.
The internet has its own set of incentives. Corporate media has a set of incentives. The internet has its own set of incentives that has helped to perpetuate and pour gasoline on the flames of the Taylor Swift is a psyop conspiracy theory. Hey guys, if you like that video, go to breakingpoints.com, become a premium subscriber, and help us build the best independent media organization on the planet.
That's right. We're subscriber funded. We're building something new. We want to replace these failing mainstream media organizations.
So again, to subscribe, it's breakingpoints.com.